welcome back once again, everyone, to the North American Star League Grand Finals 3rd and 4th place match.
Sorry, Frodan, we have two exceptional players battling out, but one person is really standing out. It's Polt versus Sortof, where Polt is up 3-0. You know, there was a fantastic match yesterday with Sortof and Hyun. He 3-0'd Hyun, who just finished second in Code S. Now, everybody thought Sortof was going to magnificent over here, but Polt has been making short work of him.
And Polt's been doing everything, and showing strong early mid-game builds, showing an ability to harass while being able to macro, and transitioning to late-game army control, which is always the sabotage of Terrence. Clumping Viking, never being able to get the detonations off. Will Polt be able to close it out 4-0 sweep on Whirlwind?
Well, we'll find out.
My God, that was like a Discovery Channel special. Over here in the top left corner, we have the red Zerg. Enormous, exquisite, exotic species we've never seen before. On Whirlwind, it is Western Wolves Sortof.
Go on, Frodan.
I can't.
No, go on.
And over here, it's a much more boring race, but everyone knows who it is. It's the humans, it's the Terrans. Give it up for TSL Polt.
You may have just offended a whole continent.
I think I offended an entire continent of people, but I think the most important thing, though, is that it was done out of flattery.
Exactly.
Because I always think the Australian or British accents are really cool, man.
You don't know what it is. It's one of those.
It usually mixes in between, and sometimes I go back into Southern White because I really don't know. I need to take an accents class, Andre.
That's all right. We'll do one of these days. Command Center first, coming out from Polt right away. Whirlwind's a very big map, just like Daybreak, as we saw in game number 1. So Command Center first, it seems very, very logical. We know Sortof is a very standard player, so you don't really expect a 6-pull, a 10-pull, anything like that. Regular 15 hatch into a 16 spawning pool. This is absolutely standard coming out from Zerg. You know, I have to say, Sortof was in the advantage both game 1 and game 3 at certain points in the game, although he wasn't able to find out that he had the advantage. That's one of the toughest things. I mean, there's this 1 to 2 minute timing where if you don't hit, you will give a lot of momentum to your opponent. Now, that being said, the reason for that is because Polt is just so god dang aggressive. And the problem is, where do you find that aggression? It's not just in Korean Terrans, it's the elite of the elite Korean Terrans that you must be training with in order to be prepared for a style like this. I feel like foreigner Zergs or any Zergs in the world really aren't capable of defending against Polt's harass and his builds because of just his unique, not his unique style, but his so hard to execute style.
Eloquently put, Andre, and I think that's what's going to be really tough for Sortof to overcome in game number 4. Polt is shown that he can do everything all at the same time, simultaneously being able to poke while being able to expand, while being able to make sure that he's not falling too far behind in map control and being able to keep up in upgrades. All these things are going on at the same time. Sortof trying to play differently. He's trying to respond and react and make sure to you know, be able to get the defenses up that he hasn't been able to. His defense in game number 3 was the turning point, I felt like, for being able to defend against any kind of Polt's harass or pushes. But in the end, Polt just said, oh, I'm just going to change plans, you know, change the curriculum and go for a different lesson and completely school him in TVZ.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if he's economically behind. He's just going to say, I am better with controlling my units than you. I can get it back. It doesn't matter. My positioning is better. My control is better. And let's go ahead and put that to the test. We'll see if he does that over here on Whirlwind, which is rather an interesting map. The third base, especially for these positions, as they are close position, the third base is hard for Sortof in particular. Does he go over here, expand in a line format, and increase the perimeter that you have to defend, which of course gives you more options for your opponent? Or do you expand closer to your opponent, but kind of defend a little bit of your main, a little bit of your natural? It's very hard to circle a medevac all the way around this Xel'Naga tower just to come over here to the natural.
Yes, so keep that in mind as Polt will be the guy that we've been focusing on. But, we have to also give credit to sort of his ZVT. It does statistically struggle a little bit, too. He has taken series off of some really notable players like Lucifron multiple times, and being able to even beat the Muslim, as everyone knows, is great at TVZ based off of his ability to play at NASL. Regardless, though, sort of needs to kind of get something else in the order. There's no point where Polt ever looked threatened at a true point. There's never like the Zerglings attacking the production building. There's never like the big SCV hit with Banelings. There's never that moment where it's like, oh man, Terran, how is he going to come back in this situation?
Yes.
It just seems like Polt says, all right, I'm going to attack. If that attack fails, I'm just going to fall back, make another attack.
Actually, that's something, I know it wasn't your point, but it's something to call a little bit of attention to. We haven't seen Banelings in this matchup, have we? Sortof really just has not gone Banelings at all.
And Zergling, Roach, and Fester.
Yeah, and I think Banelings are a pretty big necessity. You can be punished pretty hard with any Hellion plus Bear composition. If you don't have Banelings out in the field, it's very difficult to dynamically defend against those type of styles. We are going to see a ton of Hellions this time around yet again. We have 2 factories up and blue flame Hellions. Oh!
We're going to see a mech play on Whirlwind, the first of this series, and Polt. Can't imagine a better player to pull it off. Some people in the crowd are very excited, like, yes, mech! Woo. I can see Hellions and Thors, tanks. I get to see how Gretorp influenced the series.
Maybe a little trap over. The Hellions are surrounded. Nicely done by Sortof. He's going to be able to stop any aggression for the next couple of minutes to take his third base and drone it up. That is a remarkable advantage for him as he soars ahead in economy.
No, that's really big. Being able to control the Hellions, being able to lower the Hellion count to make sure that they can't go for that massive run by. The ramp in Whirlwind is really big. In fact, most ramps are, which it makes it very strong for the Hellions to just run by, avoid the Queens. Makes it hard for Zerg to Sim City to make sure that they can't get by. But keeping it down, like what we just saw, is a great key to go into the mid game.
That's right. So, Frodan, I have to ask you. I mean, you see all of these Hellions. You know your opponent is going, at least two factories, maybe even possible 3. Do you actually make the call that he's going mech from here?
Well, he's shown this build before. Blue Flame Hellions into bio tank. There's no guarantees, and that's why you have to still play on the safer edge. But the increasing Hellion count should be something. At one point, you have to stop making Hellions. You have to start making Marines, otherwise your push will really have no integrity to it. And if you keep seeing the stacking amount of Marines, and especially since his Overlords are in position to inevitably see it, he's got to know eventually, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is a lot of inactivity from Polt. Although Polt, he's been known to just use his Hellions, get rid of a lot of these creep tumors, but fall back onto bio. So there's a lot of capabilities for him. At least that's what sort of reads. We might have a potential swing around over here with Zerglings, but I don't feel like it's enough.
No, he's just picking off drone here and there, trying to, again, keep Zerg in check, never making them feel comfortable. Has to be active. If you're caught injecting, I'm going to snipe drones. If you're trying to place units and, rearrange your queens, I'm going to take out some Zerglings and continue to have map control. This is great play from Polt. Although people kind of say, mech on Whirlwind, is it really that good? It's a very big map. Counterattacks are so strong. There's an entire right side of the map that you might have to completely traverse before being able to take out important tech structures.
And another big problem is the fact that we're not really seeing an investment in roaches. Zergling and Fester, okay, it's not bad in this early game stage, but you don't want to continue that. Thor Hellion will do very, very nicely against that composition. As the Thors tank a lot of the damage, the Hellions eliminate everything. Now there are a couple of tactical plays where you can use Neural Parasite and defeat that composition, but all you need is literally like 3 or 4 siege tanks, and that is completely negated. You just focus fire all of those infestors, and you're good to go. So that being said, you can't rely on this composition. We need a switch away into roaches. But look, he's going straight up to Hive Tech. He has no clue. That will give TSL Polt a slight timing attack if there are no roaches out in the field in the next coming minutes.
Well, we'll see how that's going to come to play, considering that Sortof is going for a fast Hive in respect, because I think he does. Yeah, he knows it's going for mech 2. He's seen enough out of the Overlord being able to catch units walking out of the natural. Sortof also trying to get some infestor count high up. No Neural Parasite. We haven't really seen it used too often considering how strong often roaches can be. But if you can get Brood Lords, then there's really nothing that the tanks and Hellions can do. You have to rely on your Thor Viking count, if any.
Yes, sir. But right now, let's see.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice fungal.
fungal.
Jinx.
Damn.
I remember when that used to be really cool, man, but now no one claps to that. We see that Polt is just poking around the map and trying to continue to exercise map control, but pretty soon he has to get out of here because he can't really control too much more because Zerg will get a lot stronger, especially with Hive Tech done.
Roaches are on the way out. Gliwi Constitution not yet finished. Now, if there's a scan that goes down, I mean, that's an instant push trigger. Once you see, oh, he actually saw the Hive coming up. Very interesting. So he hasn't decided to push at all. He's waiting maybe to 2-2, and then he'll push out. 2-2 is just about 30 seconds away, 35 seconds away. So there it is. And this is a lot of units. Now what he wants to do is just funnel more additional faster units in, not necessarily Thors, but siege tanks, Hellions, and then prepare for potential Broodlord switches, because that's very, very possible and very regular.
Oh, the Infestor's caught out of position. Hellions trying to do it again. One does drop, and each Infestor that drops is another ability, another factor that Polt can take in as he continues his push deeper in. The Hellions want to absorb the damage. At the same time, they don't want too many to die. A few do get picked off here and there. Big Roach counterattack here at the third base. At the same time, Polt taking a really strong anchored spot right below the natural. And did sort of give up too much space already?
I don't know. It's going into base race mode. This is actually relatively good for the Zerg. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but if you're able to get Broodlord, he doesn't have
his Spire isn't even
Greater Spire
done in his Hive.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, he didn't line it up. I think he forgot the Spire, and as a result, he's gonna try to break through at the natural. This is Sortof's big hope. If he loses all this supply, he won't be able to hold off and get anything back at home. Hellions and Thors and tanks still pushing in deep. Polt wants to finish this series now.
You can see the power of this +2/2 timing. Sort of not able to stand up to that force at the main base. And it was just a couple of Thors and Hellions. Of course, the SCVs help out so substantially, but my goodness, there is such a big stranglehold with Polt's build. He's shown a different style all 4 games, and they've all been very successful.
And Polt now is on the top of the ramp. He's going to siege up. The Roach is coming for the flank, but the Hellions trying to buy as much time. Infested Terrans will try to stall this push, and Infested Terrans are very effective against mech, but there's too much Terran, and Sortof, he's going to lose his natural, his main base. GG!
GSL Polt to win it 4-0, ladies and gentlemen. What a decisive win from Polt. This guy is the real deal, showing 4 different dynamic styles throughout this series and showing success as well. Unbelievably done. Give it up for him, TSL Polt.
What an incredible series by Polt, showing all sides of Terran, being able to be defensive and hold off against things while being able to get that composition in the late game, being able to go for a timing Terran, being able to go for a mech Terran. Polt showing all sides of his play and why he is one of the scariest players in the world.
That's right. And, you know, there is capabilities for that push to work really nicely, or the counter push to work really nicely. You swing in there with the Roaches, but you have to have those Broodlords ready at the end. Unfortunately, Sortof wasn't able to get him there, and Polt was able to just annihilate his opponent with mech. The first time we've seen mech out of Polt in all of NASL.
Regardless of what happened, though, Sortof was the farthest advancing non-Korean. Let's give a round of applause for Sortof's 4th place finish in NASL.
Heck yeah.
Great story. Great, wonderful story.
Yeah.
No one other than maybe Sortof, his practice partners, and his team may have believed that he would have gotten this far, but he was the European Zerg that did well. You know, last tournament we had Stefano go really far, but this time he carried the weight of the world on his shoulders, and I don't think he disappointed.
Definitely not. He's definitely one of my favorite Zergs at this point. I love seeing his ZVZ. I can't wait to see him in 2013, where there will be another successful esports career. But for now, let's go ahead and move on to Zoe, where she has the winner for an interview.
Thank you very much, guys. That was a convincing win you took away there, and you look fairly happy about that as well. Yet, Sortof definitely showed such an amazing performance, so he wasn't to be underestimated. Did you feel like this is going to be so convincing, like a 4-0 for you, or did you feel like this could have gone another way as well?
Oh, actually, I didn't expect 4-0 score. I thought of a 4-2 or a 4-1, then it'll be okay. But when I win first and second game, I thought, I gotta win, and it'll be 4-0, and it did work.
So if you look at the matches you've actually played there, in the first one it looked like a fairly back and forth. You were almost behind, it felt at some point, and it looked really good for Sortof, but then you were just able to coming back into it with like those amazing drops you did there, and just sneaked your way into it. Do you think the drops were what actually turned the tide, or do you think there was a other mistake he did which could have taken the game from him?
When I see the Brood Lords and Investor Crafters, if I don't have Ravens and Vikings enough, but then I think I couldn't win. But so I have to play like drop and harassing. So that's what I play the best. So I did, and actually I didn't think it'll work, but it did work, and I got a win.
Yeah, and it did work very well indeed. So if we look at the other games, I think the casters already mentioned it. There weren't, I don't think, any banelings involved in the whole game. Do you think that was a mistake he did, or do you think he didn't need them anyways?
Oh, really? I didn't know it.
Well, at least in the last few games, it didn't, like there weren't many banelings like to deal with your bio army. So I was just like wondering if you noticed that as well, and if that changed anything about your game. However, now you came third. That's pretty darn awesome. How are you feeling now? How excited are you? How relieved?
When I lost yesterday to Hero, I was really sorry to my fans because I was the last Terran, and for a long time, Terran couldn't get the finals. So I really wanted to get finals, but I failed. But now I got third and beat Jurg, so I think my fans will forgive me. Yeah.
Oh, I'm pretty sure they will. See, that sounds forgiving. So, anything you want to say to your fans or to fellow Terran players out there?
New patches comes out, and Terran is much better than former days. So I think me or other Terrans will get finals soon. So cheer for Terrans, please.
Okay, cheer for Terrans, guys. Lots of cheering for Terrans. Give it back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Zoe. That was an awesome series and a display of skill and talent for Polt. One last congratulations, applause for TSL Polt for finished third place and securing $10,000. $10,000.
$10,000. Of course, the fourth place finisher gets $5,000. That's nothing to be ashamed of at all. And guess what, Frodan? We're not done.
That's right, we have a final coming up between Liquid Hero and Azubu Violet. Are you guys excited for the grand final?
I think they are. So many Liquid Hero fans, so many Azubu Violet fans.
Yeah, you know, these guys are my friends too, and it's really cool to see them get so far, but at the same time, it's like, wow, you know, these guys have great opportunities. Violet just got second at IPL 5. He really wanted the championship. He told me, man, he didn't want second, he wanted first, and now he's here to win. But Hero, he just won DreamHack. He could double up as back-to-back champions of his tournaments.
And you know what? If signs tell us, last year he won DreamHack. At this time, he goes into the NASL Season 4 finals, or NASL Season 2 finals, and meets up with Puma and gets second. Will that be a repeat or not? That's going to be really interesting to look forward to.
2012 is a new year. It's a new Hero, and it's a new Violet. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. It's going to be casted by Mr. Bitter and Rotterdam. They're going to close out the show. Thank you so much for people watching. We're done here. We'll be right back after commercial break.
Thanks, guys.